What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm just going to be doing something a bit different. So I'm going to have a go at doing some portrait work on a computer program called Krita. I've not done loads of portrait stuff before, so I'm making it easy for myself, coming in and just tracing some outlines and stuff in, because what I really want to look at is shading and colouring in this computer program, which I've not done before. So it's a bit of an experiment, and I want to see if it will help me transition into doing painting on canvas or on wood as well. So I'll get those techniques and have an idea of how to do it in real life as well as digitally. So I think I watched a few videos, and one guy I watched, he basically did the eyes and the lips and all the hardest features first. So I started off like that, painting in the eyes and the lips first, but I found that wasn't how I kind of wanted to work. When I've done painting before, I kind of do it all together. So I've painted in the background grey just to stop that white being so strong and being able to get the tones better, and then started trying to add in all the tones of my nephew's face. So as I was doing this, I was fairly happy with it, but I think I watched some other videos, 'cause I didn't do this in one big sitting. I think it took about 10 hours. So I did it over a few days, and I felt it looked a bit muddy. So later on, I started to get a bit braver and just come in and start to look at a lot more of like the big colours and the big shades, and be a bit braver with the paints that I was using. So I've used the program before, but a lot of it's to do like illustration work or just line work on flat coloured pieces of work. So I was learning a lot about different brushes here. Like I used like a dry stipple brush later on. That was a really good brush to go for. And I also learned how to like mix the colours on the canvas using like a I don't know what you'd call it, like a smudge tool. So that was quite cool. When I was doing the hair, I wasn't sure whether you start with a light colour or a dark colour, so lots of this is just all experiment. And if you go, the good thing about digital work is if you go wrong, you don't have to wait for it to dry, you can just fix it straight away. I mean, I suppose you can do that when you're painting as well, you can just scrape it off and paint over it. So as the video goes on, you'll see lots of transitions where I start working into it, lots of little details, then I think, I think it needs to rehaul and just go over the whole thing and start again. I think when you're doing art, you've got to do that. You can't be afraid. You've got to just be confident or a bit brave, and sometimes rehash stuff if you need to. let me know in the comments. Have you done portrait painting? Maybe you're an expert, maybe you've just started. If you've got any tips for me or on the process, let me know. So here you see, like, I've decided to fully overhaul the picture and look at the light and dark and use a bit more interesting colours and just be a bit more brave. And with this, it just takes a bit more time to work in. So you're starting off and you think, oh no, have I ruined it? And then as you keep going, it starts to look a bit, kind of like sculpt it into where you want it to be. So I was kind of just using the picture on the left as a guide of light and dark rather than trying to get the exact colours right, because I wanted it to be like a bit painterly and the colours I wanted to use well. So I was kind of using it as a guide to start with, just to see where the light and the dark kind of would fall. So as I started to blend the colours on his face in and smooth the bits of it out, it started to look a lot better. Just to have a little break from doing that, I decided to change the background. So it's starting to come together now finally. So I moved on to his brother Leo and started to add this in, and then it's basically like starting from scratch again. But I had a much better idea of how to start off, because I really like the colours I'd used and the tones it created. So at this stage, when you're painting it, you just think, oh god, it looks awful. And if the person, like, especially when you know the people's faces, but you've just got to keep going and have faith that if you keep working on it, something's going to emerge and it's going to look good all of a sudden. I think I thought I was recording one part and I ended up not, so it will jump. I think I'll jump a session and all of a sudden the picture will look much better, which is a shame, because I think all the next bits are the bits where I'm really starting to get it to look good. The T for my nephew on the left, I really found hard. I had to go over those loads of times. I still didn't really get it right at the end, but sometimes you just have to think, well, this is good enough for now, and then go away and practice it again when you're feeling fresh again. Yeah, having not done loads of portrait painting, it's easy to draw hair on like a manga character or eyes on a manga character, but when you're trying to get it to some sort of level of realism, you've got to get, when you're trying to do the hair and the eyes and the mouth and the skin tones all on one picture, it's a massive challenge when you've not done it before. So everything I was doing was a massive learning stage for me, which is why I set up the YouTube channel, so I could make sure I'm doing loads of art and have a go at lots of different things. So jumps there, I'm really annoyed I missed a session. I just didn't record for some reason. So you can see it's really come on a long way since the last little clip. But basically I was just working it over and over again until I was happy with how it was looking. And then from now on, I think Leo's the hair changes quite a lot, and I redo the eyes a fair bit and the mouths. But basically it kind of stays like this for skin tone colours. So you see I'm just adding little highlights and trying to get the contrast right, because you don't want to be really overpowering by adding really dark parts or really light parts. But then at the same time you've got to be really brave in what you're doing, otherwise nothing's going to change and you make those mistakes and you won't get better if you don't make them. If you made it through to this far in the video, well done. I really appreciate anyone who's watching this, so if you can hit a like and subscribe, it really helps more people see my videos, and it would be really brilliant for me. So if you can do that, respect. Okay, so this part's where I really change up his hair, because I liked it before, but it wasn't right. It wasn't how his hair looked, so I just had to redo it. And hair's kind of funny because you don't want to draw every individual hair in, because that's going to take ages. But you kind of got to suggest it with a bit of smudging and other techniques, just to suggest that it's really detailed. And obviously hair's super shiny and it's hard to get those effects. So everything I'm doing, again, is just experimenting and seeing what looks good. If you like it, great, but don't be afraid to change it. So I must have spent hours on these teeth trying to get them right. So I've added little bits of pink and stuff just because it's painting. You can make it look a bit more interesting and have like a bit of bounce light effect. From other paintings I've seen, I like it when they've got like little shots of colour where you wouldn't normally expect it. So I thought I'd add a bit of that and have a go, because it's all, again, learning new little techniques and having a go at stuff. At this stage, I was just doing little changes and things, and just probably can't notice them loads, but when you're painting it, they seem like a big changes, but they're only tiny. I think I got to the point where I thought, I think this is almost done, really. Just doing these little changes and things, you could go on forever, and sometimes you just have to step away and maybe come back to it later, or start a new picture and put those new skills you've learned into a new piece and keep going. So if you want me to do something like this again, let me know. Hit me down in the comments, or if you've got any suggestions for different challenges and things to test me and things to help me grow and learn new art techniques, let me know. So massive thanks to my nephews Leo and Felix as well. I hope you enjoy the picture. And thanks to their mum and dad for letting me use their picture in this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you next time. Peace!